There we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to episode 158 of Folks Talkin Sports. I switched to the wrong scene auto setting. That's why you saw the wrong thing first. But it's live here on YouTube, and I'm not going to sugarcoat. I mess up and I mess up. I hold myself accountable, unlike others. Anyway,
Who would you be speaking of, Kris?
lots of folks all over the spectrum, all over the country and the world. That voice you heard there was my man, Willie Gibson. Brother Gibson, how are you, sir?
Doing phenomenal, sir. How about yourself?
Glad to hear that. Phenomenal. Good for you.
Yes, sir.
And a phenomenal woman, Miss Kennetra Pulliams. How are you doing?
I'm good, guys.
Good.
Lady and gentleman. Oh, of course, you're watching Folks Talkin Sports on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, but also on Facebook on Houston Roundball Review and even my personal page, adding to the destinations for the show, and we'll be adding more in the near future. Love to add more based on advertising, sponsorship, and support, but that's down the line. I want to get into this. I'm not going to play any clip from it or the video of it, but good evening to Queen Wanda Polk, as she's a loyal supporter, a true supporter of the show, and me personally as well. Friday evening, the announced attendance was roughly 38,000 at TDECU Stadium. It took till like almost halftime for everybody to show up because of traffic. But they saw what they saw. Coogs 36-20 over Colorado. 5 field goals made by the Cougs, 3 touchdowns. They dominated the game for the most part. Coach Prime after the game said we got our butts kicked. So KP and Willie Gibson, when you hear Coach Prime say that, acknowledge that. What do you think?
He's an honest man.
Agreed.
I mean, he knows. I mean, he can't come out and. I mean, we saw what we saw. You saw what you saw. Why lie?
Right.
I mean, and also at the end of the day, here's the thing. Now, because of who he is and the cachet that he carries, the expectations are higher. But any other program in year 3, I mean, this is pretty much to be expected. I mean, he took over the program as 1-11. They went 4-8 his first year. They went 9-4 last year with a bowl game. They lost a lot, and I mean, this to be he's rebuilding a program. He's rebuilding the program. If it's Deion Smith and not Deion Sanders, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you lose a starting quarterback. You lose a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yep.
Who was good on offense and defense.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Generational talent.
Yes.
Generation, you're looking at a two-way talent.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And I'll say this, Coach Prime and the staff, Deion, he has to get talent, bring in talent to Colorado. Not similar, but maybe some of those guys he brings in that could potentially have talent like his coaching staff. He has Hall of Fame buddies on his staff, and all over the place, but
He has pros.
he got pros on the staff. Does not have right now pros on his team. Because seeing them against the Cougs on Friday night, there's a talent gap between Houston and Colorado, which is kind of surprising because Houston's talent level in year 2 under Coach Fritz is not what it will be in year 3 under Coach Fritz. Because he's got 2 5-stars and 2 4-stars like in the area committed to the program for 26. That's more than what he has now. Now, Connor Wegman, he has shown me something with his legs, much more athletic and agile than what I thought. I mean, that's because he's healthy. That helps.
And he's experienced.
That also helps. Ryan, quarterback of Colorado, looked like a third-string quarterback.
Who's been waiting, who wasn't good enough to start before now.
Right. He was very good last week. He was more like a third stringer a lot of times against the Cougars defense. Cougs defense is very good. They still, I guess, they have a drive, one or two drives in a game that they just make you shake your head what's going on in the game, because they had that against the Buffaloes on Friday. But overall, their defense is stout. They can get stops. Secondary is good. Got to show up the middle of the defense, and linebackers and things like that a few times in games. But I was impressed. I was surprised that, I guess you could say, how dominant Houston was in the win over Colorado. It wasn't like it was a fluke. The better team won.
Yes.
And that's a plus for the Houston program going forward. I said it during our Let's Rage Coogs show Friday, and I believe y'all agree with this as well. The importance of having the right person in charge makes a world of difference. I mean, just no question. Because, Brother Gibson, today, UCLA and Virginia Tech fired their head coaches.
Yep.
With reason, justifiably so.
Very good reason.
And Deshaun Foster, he just did not. He did not, to me, did not seem to be a good head coach. Period, to begin with. And then he went out and proved it. He was not a quality head coach before games. What some of the stuff he did in practice, some of his comments to the media. Deshaun, what are you talking about? I mean, you're at a Power 4 conference. You talk to media differently than other. But go ahead. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I feel. I mean, he was in a no-win situation to begin with. I mean, Chip Kelly left, and he was named interim, and I think AD Martin Drummond just kind of, okay, let's leave him in place to see how he does, and he just wasn't ready. And I'm kind of paused. This is not me jumping on and piling on, kicking a man while he's down. However, encourage anyone to look up 2024 Big Ten Football Media Days, his opening statement. And it was just abundantly clear that he's not ready for this type of role.
Yes, agreed.
This type of role. I mean, I'm not saying that he lacks. This was just a Power 4 program in the Big 18. It just wasn't. He wasn't ready for that type of role, and not to say that he comes back and at a lesser university and gains the experience. He was running backs coach, which that has happened before, running back coach to interim to head coach. But it just was abundantly clear. Some of the things you mentioned and others that this was just too big of a role for him at this time.
KP?
Yeah, it was a bad but predictable outcome.
It was bad fit, bad timing. He did not have the experience for the job. Wrong place, wrong time. Yes, he's an alum of UCLA, but wasn't the right person for the job at this point in time. Wasn't ready for the job. Hopefully he's got a $5 million buyout coming. Hopefully he'll learn from it. This should not keep him from being a head coach again in the future. Just improve himself and work on things he needs to improve. And if he does that, get another shot. But it was kind of a no-win situation for him, being how he got the job initially. But then he did not help himself with some of the things he said and did either. So.
Yeah, and then you can't lose a check game to New Mexico by 25 at home when it wasn't 5,000 people in the Rose Bowl Friday night.
Right.
If that. And they lost by 25 at home in the check game. So.
And the check was for how much, Will? $1 million?
I think it was 1.2.
1.2. So you pay 1.2 and lose by 25 at home. And no one was there to see it. So all the way around, no one's inspired by what you're doing.
Yeah.
He might have lost the team the locker room. And Virginia Tech, Brand, what was his record? What was it?
Brent Pye. I'm not sure.
It was 18, and I mean it was under 500 at Virginia Tech, and then they started 0-3 this year. Their losses were bad too. So I mean, some coaches make it easy for the decision to be made. Just you're not getting it done here. Now Virginia Tech, the buyout is $6 million.
Yep.
Virginia Tech's AD has said he was one of the ADs who went before the board with a presentation, the PowerPoint slides, saying in order for us to be competitive on the elite level in the Power 4, Power 2, we need to increase our budget up to $200 million. So they're like either between $40 and $60 million short of that. Well, if you're now paying off a staff, that does not help you with your bosses. Okay, so you want us to give you more, or you want us to find or come up with between $40 and $60 million, and now you got to replace a new staff that's probably going to be $6 million buyout. Then you got to get a new staff. That's maybe $2 to $4 million. So that's maybe $8 to $10 million more. Yeah, maybe you need to do a better job of who you hire in the first place.
You could have made a legacy hire.
I was waiting. Yep. Good. You got to call South Carolina now. You got to.
Not only do you not hire Shane Beamer, then you lose to him. Yeah. And he could have been your head coach.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, that right there is winning the press conference. But, they didn't do it.
And if I'm him, I'm like, yesterday's price is not today's price.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey. Yep.
Yeah, what y'all thought I wanted? What I wanted Saturday, Friday? How about double that? Then give me a call. Are you ready to pay that? Okay, let's talk. But same thing.
There is no last name discount.
No, not at all. But we're getting to the administration part. Two administrations that did not do a good job of hiring. I want to play this clip from Thursday's Zoom session that Coach Kelvin Sampson had with the media. Toward the end of the session, he was asked to comment on Willie Fritz and the job Coach Fritz is doing as football coach at Houston. So let's take a listen to these comments. It's about 3 minutes from Coach Sampson. It's Coach Sampson. Coach Sampson can talk. If you've been around enough, you know that he can talk. But here it is, some of Coach Sampson's thoughts about Willie Fritz.
Yeah, well, so this is my fifth football coach, right? And it's our fourth AD. And I think Willie's the best football coach that we've had because of his resume. And I do think Willie's personality and knowing how to coach his team, knowing how to build a culture. So I think administrators that don't understand the power of culture will more oftentimes hire the wrong guy because they don't pay enough respect to that part of the process. If a guy doesn't know how to build a culture, you can't interview him. You certainly can't hire him. Willie's high check marks in both. He knows how to build a team. He knows how to establish a culture. He knows how to determine whether or not everybody's in the same boat. One of the things that I've always said to our assistant coaches is that we don't have to be our players' lives, but they are our lives. They're our lives, and we dedicate what we do to them. We're not here to enjoy the social scene in Houston. That's a byproduct of where we live, but that's not why we're here. We're here to develop these young men into the best young men they can be, best people, best students, best teammate, learn how to do things for others, learn how to be a giver. The guys that build the best culture gets A+ in all those areas. I think when you start at a place like Blinn, you learn to find yourself when nobody's looking. You make your mistakes, like I did at Montana Tech. Then when you look at where Willie is now, it's a byproduct of knowing how to do what he does. You know, being the football coach or the basketball coach at these schools can be daunting, especially for younger guys. But when you've been through the wars, you know what you're doing. There's a sense of peace. There's you never hurried, you never rushed. You look at others pull their hair out and wonder why this or wonder why that, and you just go about coaching your team and focus on what's in front of you and not what's ahead of you. And I think Willie gives off those same vibes. You know, when Willie calls me, I always make sure I call him too, because I don't want him just calling me. I want to call him too. But I am a huge, huge, huge Willie Fritz fan.
Thoughts on what Coach Sampson said about Coach Fritz?
You know me, I got to go off the beaten path. I couldn't get past it. I heard everything else he said. How long has Coach Sampson been there?
This is year 12.
And he's had 4 ADs?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I heard everything he said, but once he said that, I'm like, man, 4 ADs and 5 football coaches in 12 years. Wow. But to his point, what he said, what the thoughts, I mean, he's a culture builder. He's a culture builder. He said exactly what we just talked about Deshaun Foster. He can't interview him, let alone hire him. If he does, and it was clear. I mean, Deshaun Foster satisfies some alumni base, a portion of the alumni base in Westwood. Somebody signed off on that, but it was abundantly clear he wasn't it. He didn't have it for now at that program. But he's, as he said, he's a huge, 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 big fan of Willie Fritz's, and in year 2. It's clear that he's righted that ship and has that program on the path to future success, present and future success.
KP, before I get to CA37's comments, what do you think about what Coach Sampson said?
And that's the thing. You have to have a synergistic partnership or level of respect within the athletic department. It can't just be each coach and each team for themselves. Each program has to invest and be connected to other programs within the athletic department to have success. Because, like, if there's no support from one team to the next, you look selfish, you know. But, like, it's not just, hey, I'm just going to show up at your game when I have a recruit in town. But if you understand the day-to-day, and then also if you check in as one coach to another, just check in, you know, hey, how's it going? You know, just develop a genuine, sincere care about that person and their well-being outside of their title. It goes a long way in just building a rapport across the athletic department.
And Will and KP, y'all know me. Y'all, sometimes folks say I'm being petty. Others say I'm telling like it is. That the AD part, Mac Rhodes is at Baylor. Hunter Yurchek took a job, left as AD. Where's Hunter now? Is he still at Arkansas? I don't know if he's still there or not. Chris Peasant's at Arkansas State now. Chris Peasant was not ready for this job, especially as a power program. Was not. Good dude, not the right person for this job. Just sorry. And I'm not the only person to say that, believe it, think it. He just wasn't. That's not personal. Good person, not the right person for this job to get Houston where they say they want to be. Eddie Nunez seems to be the right AD for this job.
Because you can't make personality hires.
Right.
Stakes are too high.
And, Chris Peasant is an alum, UH alum. Okay, that's nice. Doesn't mean he's the best person for the job, because he wasn't. Financial situations, UH had their issues and broke, or you can say all those kind of things. Still, you got to do what you can with what you have. And we have done more with less. And so many times at UH, the administration, compared to other schools in Houston, did less with more, and just not going to have that. I just won't. I think Coach Fritz, and I know I'm going to say this as well. Coach Sampson kind of said it. I'm maybe reading something into it. But when I heard him say, we're not here to have a nightlife, that to me sound like a coach, the previous coach, who was known across the town and nationally for his favorite drink and spending time out and about. I'll just put it that, out and about, enjoying his favorite drink and having that be a meme on social media and all those things. And some folks thought it was funny. Oh, that's cute. Look at him. Blah, blah. That's not the representation I want for my school and my program. Some of the folks who thought that was cute and funny, ha, 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 look at him. Well, his behind's gone now. And Houston football is better off. Okay. Get this. I'm going backwards with CA37's comments. Then I get to Willie, your thoughts on UCLA. It's ironic, CA37, because it's true. Just walking around, people tell me positive things about Coach Fritz, and they say, be patient. I was talking to somebody today about Coach Fritz and how Coach has a plan. It's just a different vibe, different level of expectations for the program, different level of accountability in the program. It's a new day for Houston Cougars football, and I believe the right person is in charge. Finally, it's been a while that I can say that about Houston Cougars football, but the right person is in charge of Houston football. The right person is in charge of Houston men's basketball. I think a good hire was made with Coach Mitchell in women's basketball. I think that turnaround will begin this season, and then we'll go forward in the other sports as well. Brother Gibson.
Yes, sir.
This question from CA37 regarding UCLA and the Big 18, as you call them.
Yep.
Do you feel UCLA was additive to the Big 10?
Yes and no. I mean, the brand is the brand. I mean, West Coast has opened up the West Coast market along with USC, Washington, and Oregon. So from that perspective, yes. If you're looking solely at football, not yet. I mean, the program as a whole, yes, the women's basketball team went to the Final Four. So, yeah, from that perspective, absolutely. But for football right now, not yet. I mean, depending on what Martin Drummond does with his hire and what goes on in that program going forward. But it's year 2, so we'll see. But the brand, absolutely, to open up the West Coast for the Big 10, yes.
Would that have been accomplished with just adding USC?
That would never happen. They made sure it was a package deal. One wasn't coming without the other.
I agree with you. Not sure that's still the right move. We'll see if the right head coach at UCLA can, get things turned around at UCLA. Because UCLA football, was good in my younger years, But KP, what do you say? What do you believe? Do you believe UCLA was additive to the Big 10?
It's similar to KU K-State. Like it wherever conference realignment happens, they're a package deal. You're not going to break up that in-state rivalry. And UCLA, USC, same city. You're not breaking that up.
And how are things at Kansas State in football?
Kind of toasty.
Oh, Arizona beat them. So Arizona or Houston, so far, it's looking like this year's Arizona State. So, and who was it? Texas Tech? Was it mollywopped Oregon State? Is that who it was?
Yep.
Oregon State faces the Cougs in Corvallis next Friday. Cougs win there. That's it. It seems Coach Fritz has, at minimum, got the Cougs, the team, to a point of their beating a team they are supposed to beat.
They're receiving votes in the coaches poll.
I saw that. I saw it when my buddies told me that. I was like, how about that? They're not ready for that yet, but I'll take it as more attention for the program. But add to it and beat Oregon State next Friday, as in the 26th, not the 19th. Bye week this week, which is important because the offensive line is really, really banged up. So they could use this week off. But win at Oregon State, be 4-0, host Texas Tech at TDECU Stadium. Stadium should be sold out. 10,000 Texas Tech fans, rest Cougar fans, I'm good with that, whatever. But it should be sold out. But beat Oregon State. Don't stumble. Don't ruin all my positivity, all this glowing stuff I'm saying about the program, and go to Corvallis and lose to Oregon State. Because Oregon State is not, they're not playing well. They're struggling. Cougs need to jump on them and get them and beat them and come on back home. And we'll talk about that on September 26th. I am now going through these final moments of this edition. This episode 158. It's going to be a little different. I have to switch slides to do this.
Yeah, well,
but I just want to do this. Acknowledge this man right here on the screen. Salute Terence Bud Crawford for his unanimous decision win over a hell of a fighter in Canelo Alvarez. Bud is undisputed. He's got all the belts, damn near all the belts, Will. KP, I mean, really. And it was a clinic. It was a master class that Terence Bud Crawford put on display against Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo's younger than Terence, but he's got more miles on him in the ring. Will, do you think that made a difference? Or does Terence just a better fighter, period?
I think Bud's just a better fighter.
Yeah.
I think Bud's just a better fighter. So somebody asked me this earlier today. They said, okay, Bud or Floyd? And I said, you know what? Not a prisoner of the moment, but to be unpopular, I would say Bud. I would say Bud.
But you know who also would say that? Canelo.
Yeah.
He was asked after the fight, the post-fight press conference, you know, Canelo, who do you think is better fighter? Floyd or Terence? And Canelo said, Canelo said Terence is way better than Floyd. I don't know. I mean, we're never going to know. Yeah. But, you know, salute to Terence. And I don't know when I first saw him fight. This is back when HBO had boxing, Will.
Wow.
I think this is when I first saw him fight. I think this goes back that far. He's just different.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a technician. He can beat you in style. He can beat you with the sweet science. Mm-hmm. And then he could hurt you if he's in the mood. Because, I mean, what he did to Errol Spence.
Yeah.
That was like Errol Spence stole his money. Because Bud beat up Errol Spence.
He did.
It was like, who was it? Muhammad Ali. Was it Cleveland Williams? I think it was, where he just toyed with him, just beat him in the face, beat on him, like he could have knocked out Errol Spence. No, man. I'm not gonna let you out like that. I'm gonna just pound on you and pound on you and pound on you. You're going to take this whooping for the whole distance of the fight. But Bud Crawford is that dude. And it's funny, not funny, ironic. None of my friends who are Canelo fans, I have not heard from them today, Will.
Imagine that.
I don't know. I think my phone works. I received text messages and things like that all day today, but I have not heard from them today. I'm not sure what happened. Well, I know what happened.
Huh?
But salute to Terence Bud Crawford. Do you think, should he retire on top like this?
No.
What else is there for him to prove?
Well, I you know me, I'm a money guy. He made $10 million for last night, whereas Canelo is going to clear between 100 and 150 million
for one fight.
He needs a payday. Now, he's probably not going to fight, but he'll probably never say this. And they asked him about it. He said, it's all about just the opportunity. And that's what he should say. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I mean, somebody made 10 to 15 times what you made, and you beat them. Absolutely. Now, I know I'm pausing, I'm hemming and hawing because you don't ever want to hold on and hang on for a payday. But I don't think, as it says, 42 have tried, 42 have failed. I don't think this is a hanging on. I think this is him getting his just reward for the longevity and the consistency that he's displayed in the fight game. So,
do you have somebody in mind for that payday for him?
I don't. I really don't. I would have to think about it, but I'm just thinking, now he's at the mountain. He's at the top.
Yeah,
and so he should enjoy the spoils of being at the top.
And I'd rather him. I don't want to see him fight. What was it, Jake Paul?
No,
I don't want to be just for a payday. One of those exhibition kind of. None of that.
With the CA,
I don't want to see this either.
No.
Floyd and Mike. No.
What?
It's an exhibition. That's what it is. They call it an exhibition. So why are you even fighting? Y'all can go there and do that in a gym if you just want to have exhibition.
That could be 60 years old. What are we talking about?
No, don't do that.
What are we talking about?
Mike, do you need the money, Mike? No. So I really don't know. Oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. The heavyweight champ. What's his name?
Request C.
I'm see if I can pull it up real quick. CA37, you know what I'm talking about. He's the best heavyweight. And I'm not talking about Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's a hell of a fighter. He's kind of like Bud, too. He can move, stick and move, great footwork, beat on you, too, if he wants to. He's beat bigger men as well. I'm not sure how much more he weighs than Bud.
Oh, that was 168, so at least 30.
So, yeah, because Usyk started out as a cruiserweight champion, I think. Yeah. That'd be a lot for Bud to put on. But there's really not but a payday for Bud out there to make. And Canelo, his fight deal is 4 fights for almost $500 million.
So do you run it back with Canelo?
Canelo might because of the money, but Canelo said after the fight, he tried everything. He tried, and he just could not figure Bud out. Yeah. And if I'm Bud for a rematch, I want more than a Canelo.
Oh, without question.
So if you're paying Canelo 100, I want 125. So now Saudi money is long. May not blink an eye on that, but I might be okay with that. But there has to be someone out there for a great big payday for Terence Bud Crawford. Mm-hmm. We can't think of who it is right now.
Mm-hmm. And to that point, that's funny. I had another conversation earlier today about boxing. I was telling somebody about the fight. I didn't know you were in the boxing and all like that. I said, well, it's interesting. Boxing only, it's a lot of politics in boxing. So you only have the marquee names, the marquee matchups once every 3 to 5 years. Whereas, NBA, NFL, that's week to week, season to season, you're always going to have that matchup. But in boxing, and just the fact that we were trying to think of Youssef, it's like Usyk. It's like, man, back in the day, it was Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, whoever. But now it's just it doesn't carry the same cachet.
Kennetra, are you a boxing fan? Were you a boxing fan at all? Not even, never? Because why?
Just I was aware of it, but I would never say I was ever a fan.
And that's fair. And as Will said, boxing did it to themselves.
Yeah. No, I would this weekend, of all the things that I watched, NCAA volleyball, I watched track and field world championships, I watched Major League Baseball, some NFL. Didn't even know that there was a fight until after it was over.
Yeah, and that's part of boxing's problem.
Yep.
For right now, I don't believe there is an agreement with a network in the country.
I don't think so.
For boxing. ESPN's arrangement ended in August. HBO got out of boxing a few years ago. Showtime, so they did it to themselves by the best not fighting the best, taking 3, 4, 5 years for the best fighters to fight each other. Come on, man, And then, of course, the scoring, the judging has always left a lot to be desired. Like, what are y'all looking at that we don't see?
Right.
So that was always a problem as well. But I still enjoy boxing. I hope they finally figure things out. Kudos to Canelo for getting paid.
Yeah.
I think he is clearly past his prime. And that's not taking anything away from Bud. Because Terence Crawford, I think, would be Canelo last year. I don't believe it would have mattered when they fought.
Crawford is older than Canelo, isn't he?
He is. He's like 2 or 3 years older than Canelo. Yeah. Because Terence Crawford took time off before, facing opponents. But he's been chasing Canelo for a while. So he finally got him, and he beat Canelo. Unanimous decision. And salute to Terence Bud Crawford, 42-0, undefeated, got all the belts. And again, like I said, I remember him fighting long time ago when he might have been maybe 10 fights in. And I remember telling one of my church brothers, I asked him, I said first, hey, have you seen Terence Crawford fight? He said, no, I've heard about him. I said, oh, you got to see this young man fight. He's special. He's the real deal. He's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to watch him. He is the real deal. And he saw a fight. Yeah, I see what you saw, man. Yeah, he's good. He's legit.
Yeah.
Last thing, Brother Gibson, KP, yep. NFL today, Ravens. Oh, no. Well, I'm going to do it this way. I don't see why the point of this coming out today of all days, but
no.
Why? What was the point of saying that the Ravens would have taken Shedeur and Shedeur said, no, I don't want to go there?
Next question, because I'm going to say something.
Will you tell us off air? That a yes? You'll tell us off the air?
Technical difficulties.
I to go.
Thoughts on the matchup? Well, the Cowboys won.
Yeah,
won overtime.
That was a great game.
Much to my disappointment.
I know. And the Packers won on Thursday night, so that wasn't good for you either way.
And I didn't watch that game anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah. The defense did what they were supposed to do. And the funny part about that is because there was a lot of chatter this week. Grant Delpit, Brown safety, they were asking about how hard it is to tackle Derrick Henry. And he said, not hard. And then he was pressed on that question, and he finally just said, look, it's tackle football. They throw the ball, they run the ball, we have to tackle. It's not hard. And that was construed as bulletin board material, which I despise that term, because if you're a professional, and you've prepared all week, you shouldn't need bulletin board material
Agreed.
to get motivated to do your job. So that's just me on my soapbox. But that comment was then taken back to Derrick Henry the next day, and he said, "We'll see on Sunday." Well, Derrick Henry had 23 yards on 11 carries, so the defense did what they said they would do. But the offense, I know I said in earlier shows that you would see Joe Flacco probably until London, week 5, maybe week 6 at Pittsburgh. But after today, it's getting late early. It's getting late early in Cleveland because the defense can only do so much. I mean, there was an interception, a fumble recovery, there was a blocked field goal, there was a pick six, there was an interception that led to that. There's a lot to be desired on that offense, and they're 0-2 for the first time in the Kevin Stefanski era, and things are going to have to change quick. Whether that's Dylan Gabriel, whether that's Shedeur Sanders, whether that's Bailey Zappi, whomever.
How soon?
I want to get to London. I mean, I said London earlier. Week 5,
right?
Week 5 in London against the Vikings, or then week 6 at Pittsburgh. After that, I can see a change, but we got to get there at this point. I mean, you got the Packers at home next Sunday. Then you're at Detroit. And you don't want to, I mean, and those two defenses, you don't want to play a rookie quarterback in their first start against the Packers defense, especially now. I said that before they got Michael Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to put a rookie quarterback out there now. And then Detroit, their defense, then you go to London, you know. So I think it's still week 7, but it's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting.
Well, KP, since Brother Gibson has technical difficulties, you have any thoughts on why today of all days the Shedeur said, "No, I don't want to go to the Ravens," was brought up today?
There's always ulterior motives in the media, just to stoke a fire.
I hate when folks do that. But all right, good people, the WNBA playoffs. Oh, final thing. WNBA playoffs began today. 3 games down, 1 more to go. Top seed Minnesota pulled away from 8 seed Golden State, won by 29. Trailed by 7 after the first quarter. Minnesota did. The Atlanta Dream beat the Caitlin Clark-less Indiana Fever by 12. It's interesting how the WNBA set an attendance record this season, and Caitlin Clark missed a lot of games. But I thought, oh, never mind. And then game 3 on the playoff docket, the New York Liberty won on the road in Phoenix in overtime by 7, 76-69 over Phoenix. Last game of the day, Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces, 9 o'clock on ESPN. The Aces have won 16 games in a row. Mm-hmm. And before that, they were 14-14. Finished the season 30-14. When they were 14-14, I was like, they're in trouble. Yeah. They need to make changes. And well, 16 straight games, 16 straight wins. I guess they made some changes for the better. But did y'all see that the state government in Connecticut is getting involved with some legal discussions regarding the Connecticut Sun and the WNBA, threatening legal action, want to see the WNBA's paperwork, reasoning for not accepting the Sun's sale to the Boston group, the Hartford group, whatever, rather than what the league is trying to do, push the team to Houston. Did y'all see that?
I didn't.
Yeah, KP, I think, kind of called this because the politicians up there in Connecticut, in the Nutmeg State, were talking about, legal action and antitrust this and that. And I was like, so maybe there may not be a Tillman get a Houston team out of jail free card, at least this one. KP, your thoughts on that?
No, I mean all the other teams that applied for an expansion team, like they're not going to think that, like, okay, you put in a bid, as did we. You didn't get awarded a team, neither did we. But you're making some backroom deal, and all of a sudden, oh, we'll just relocate you a team, which makes you think that there was some cahoots and there's some collusion going on through the entire process. That the other teams who put in a bid to get awarded an expansion franchise didn't get a fair shot or fair consideration because this was already in the works. That's what it looks like to me.
Agreed. Ms. Pulliams, as the show wraps up, you have any news to share with me? No? Or with us? Okay. Brother Gibson, I'm about to give you the floor.
Yes, sir.
The world is yours.
Thank you, sir. As always, appreciate the opportunity. As far as reaching me on social media, you can find me as the Crow comes IG and Threads. Will Know Sports. You can find me on Twitter at Will Gibson 7 and on Facebook at Will Knows.
And that'll do it. Y'all know who I am. KG Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. Just wrapped up my first week in my new job. Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a 6:15 job. Hours are 6:15 to 3:15. Working at a school. Working with young people. Woo! Teachers. Bless y'all. Just the 1 week I've been there. Bless y'all, bless y'all, bless y'all, teachers, administrators. Salute to all of y'all for doing what you do. But I am KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Thank you to Kennetra Pulliams and Willie Gibson. Thank you to C837, Miss Wanda Polk, and those watching on Facebook as well as on YouTube. How are we looking for next Sunday? Good. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, heads up, the Texans play Monday night against Tampa Bay. Our colleague A.D. Moore will have the AdMax Corner Monday night on his channel, as well as on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and also on Facebook. More destinations for that show as well. And keep in mind, the Cougs are off this week. So no Let's Rage Cougs until next Friday, the 26th. Basketball fans, Coug basketball fans, I will have some info to share about a young man's visit today this weekend on campus. You want to find out about that? Need to become a member of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership section. So click on that join button and do that. So thank you, everyone, for participating in today's Folks Talkin Sports, episode 158. This is the video version. The audio version will be posted on iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, hopefully within the hour after this show ends. So you can listen to it as well if you don't want to watch it. Wrap it up, as I always do. And you know what? I'm just going to end the show. No outro, except me, of course, and naturals. No music. So wrapping it up. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.